Good morning. Today is Thursday, the 23rd day of Teves, which tonight is the 24th, which is the yard site of the Alter Rebbe, the author of the Tanya. Today I'm actually by the Ohel, so after the class you can text me your name and your mother's name and I'll pray for you by the Rebbe's oil. Very, very special day. We're starting today chapter 15 in the Tanya. And in this chapter, the Alter Rebbe is going to tell us about the two levels of the Beinani. Beinani, that person that has full control of his thoughts, speech, and action, is doing only the right thing. And as we learned in the previous chapter, that this is something that every person really can achieve. It's not easy, but it's doable. And there is two ways of achieving it, as we explained earlier. There is the very natural way, the way God created us. He created us that by nature, we are able to control our emotions, mind over the heart. And we understand something is not good for you, then you can force yourself, even though you want to do something, and you're going to force yourself to do the right thing. Whether it's eating healthy, whether it's eating kosher, whether in any kind of temptations that you have, you're able to control them. And the second way is also that we have the help of Hashem, we have the help of God, in the fact that the world that opposes God is not real. It is fake news. The world that opposes God is only here to give us the test and to give us the ability to overcome our challenges. So when you know you have in you the godly neshama, you know you're connected with the truth, as Hashem helps you out. God helps you when you decide you're going to go and do the right thing. Hashem helps you out. The tzaddik, however, doesn't have that struggle at all. The tzaddik is a person who completely eliminated his evil inclination. He's so much in love with Hashem that anything which goes against God, he already despises. And so the tzaddik is a whole different level, and that is not everybody can achieve it. However, we can try to reach that level. And we said yesterday that when a person works on himself so much, it is possible that somewhat a little bit of the tzaddik will be revealed in that person. Today, as we said earlier, we're going to discuss about two levels within the Beinani. And Alter Rebbe introduces the verse that it says in the prophet Malachi, and a verse that seems to be repetitious. And we're going to look inside. And let's start. So here it says the Alter Rebbe, Ubaze yuvan masha kasuf. Now with this distinction in mind, what we said about that there's the two levels, we will understand the verse that says, Veshavtem ureisem, bein tzadik larasha, bein oived elikim la'asher lo yavadai. And you will return and see the difference between the righteous man and the wicked man, the wicked one, between he who serves God and he who serves him not. Seems to be repetitious. If you're talking about a righteous person, the righteous person serves God, and the wicked does not serve. Now, the Rebbe is going to explain that is not. He's talking about 4 different people, 4 different characters. You have the tzaddik, the righteous, and you have the wicked. And then you have 2 levels within the Beinani, within the intermediate. Meaning, within the intermediate, there is an intermediate, as we said before, intermediate, a Beinani is someone who does everything by the book. He doesn't do anything wrong, not even in his thoughts. Still, there is one who is called one who serves God, and the other Beinani is called one who serves him not. So let's see. What does that mean? Says the Alter Rebbe, שההפרש בין עובד אלוקים לצדיק, the difference between עובד אלוקים, he who serves God, and the tzaddik, they're not the same one. There is a עובד אלוקים and there is a tzaddik. The tzaddik is the righteous. The עובד is the Beinani. And he explains why. She'oved, one who serves him, hu lashon oved, it is written in the present tense. Shehu be'emtza avodah. Oved means one who works now. He's in the middle of work. What is the work that he has? Shehi amelchama im hayetzer hara leizgaber olav ulegarshe ma'ir ketana. This service consists of the struggle against one evil nature with the aim to overpowering it and banishing it from the small city, the body. This is the fight. This is the struggle that the Beinani has. He works on himself constantly. He has a Yetzer Hara, but he works on himself to not to listen to the Yetzer Hara. Shelo yislabesh be'evri aguf, so that it should not vest itself in the organs of the body through the evil thoughts, speech, and action. And that in every area you should do the right thing. Shu be'emes avoda ve'amal gadol leilachem b'tamid. This constant battle with one's evil nature is truly entails much effort, service, and toil. This is what we're working. That's why it's called Oved Elokim, one who serves Hashem. Oved means also avodah, means working. V'hainu ha-Beinani, and that is the Beinani. The Beinani struggles. He's working. But the tzaddik has a different name. Avalat tzaddik, nikra eved Hashem, b'shem hatoya. The tzaddik, on the other hand, is designated a servant, an eved, b'shem hatoya, as eved of God, as a title. He already earned the title. He's not oved, he's not now working to fight. He is already a eved, already a servant of Hashem. As the Torah says, Moshe Avdi, it says, Avraham Avdi, my servant. Hashem refers to the sages, the patriarchs, the holy people, as they are already servants. They earn the title. And he brings an example, Kemoi Shem Chacham ay Melech, Shekvar Nase Chacham ay Melech. Just like in a similar title, you say a sage. A sage is not someone who tries to learn to become a sage. He's a chacham, he's already a sage, or a melech, or a king. Someone who is already a king. Kach zeh, the same thing is him, the tzaddik, kva ovad v'goma legamre avodas hamelchama im hara. He has already affected and completely accomplished his service of waging war with the evil in him. Ad ki vayegosheyu vayelech lo. He banished him completely. V'libai cholal bekirbe, and his heart is void within him, meaning the evil inclination that's in the tzaddik is gone. It's void. There's no evil there. So this now he explains this is the tzaddik, and this is the oived Elokim, the one who serves God. The tzaddik is the Eved Hashem, is already a servant. The Oived Elokim is the Beinani who is working and fighting and is in the middle of work constantly. Now the Alter Rebbe goes and says, by the Beinani also, there's also two levels in the Beinani. What does it mean? It says, Beinani yesh gam ken shtei madregos, Oived Elokim va'asher lo yavodei. Beinani also, there's one who struggles with his evil inclination, and there's one who does not struggle. What we're not talking about, he's not considered a wicked. He's not a wicked person. Why? That person, that Beinani who doesn't struggle, and we'll soon see why, he did not commit any sin at all in his life. Not even a minor sin. And he also fulfills all of the commandments, whatever he can fulfill. Including the studying the Torah constantly, which is equal to all other commandments combined. And his mouth never stopped studying the Torah. He's never ceased from studying Torah. We're talking about a Beinani who does not serve Hashem, but he studies, he does all the mitzvahs, and he studies Torah constantly. He's always doing the right thing, never sins. So why do we call him one who serves him not? He's not serving God. Why? Elo, and the Alter Rebbe explained yet, we're talking about such a person that does not wage any battle against his evil inclination. To vanquish them, to be victorious over the Yetzer. Through using the light of Hashem that shines on his godly soul, as we mentioned earlier, that is in the brain, and also through the fact that the brain rules over the heart, as mentioned earlier. Those are the two ways to fight the evil inclination. But this person, this individual that we're talking about, he doesn't have that struggle. He doesn't have that fight. Why? Not because he's a tzaddik, not because he eliminated his evil inclination, but because him, the evil inclination does not oppose him at all in an attempt to deter him from his Torah study and divine service. So this person needs not to wage any war against it. What are we talking about? So the difference between the tzaddik and this Beinani, we're talking about that a tzaddik is that he eliminated, he fought, or he was born without a Yetzer Hara, or he eliminated the Yetzer Hara, doesn't have it all. He only has God in him. Now this Beinani the Alter Rebbe is talking about now, this character, the one who doesn't have to fight, it's not because he doesn't have a Yetzer Hara. He has an evil inclination, but some people are born with a more frigid nature. Call them a bookworm. Some people are not hot, passionate people who will have sexual desires and will be lust, will want to have fun all the day, every day. They're just, the calm people. They're just good in reading a book, not involved in desperate nature. For whatever reason, God created them that way. And these people, when they do the right thing, because that's naturally what they would do, they're not fighting any Yetzer Hara. It's not that they have the love of Hashem in them like the tzaddik. They do have the Yetzer Hara also. But he's not a passionate one. He just lets them do whatever they want. So that person is still a Beinoni. He's not doing any sin. He's following the rules. But you cannot call him a Oyved Elokim, that one who serves God, because he does everything without a struggle. And that's a problem. Because the struggle is what reaches deep into you, that you feel the connection. You feel the connection with God. And the struggle is when you fight your own inclination. And for a Beinoni that doesn't have the struggle, he has to do more than his nature. When he does more than in his natural way, then he's already considered the Oyved Elokim. But as long as he does things regularly without a struggle, just, he enjoys sitting and studying Torah, enjoys praying, and enjoys doing good things to other people. If it's something that you do it by nature, then it's not serving Hashem. That's what the Alter Rebbe continues here. Kegoin, for example, shu masmid belimudoi betivoi miteladatoi. For example, one who is by nature a studious student due to his stolid temperament. He has this kind of nature. Also, he is free of conflict with sexual desires. Why? Due to his frigid nature. And also similarly with other mundane pleasures. Not everybody likes to go and have fun. He naturally lacks any feelings for enjoyment. Might be a boring guy to go out with, but that's the person. He just wants to sit and study Torah. Therefore, for this reason, he does not need to contemplate so much on the greatness of God, to consciously create a spirit of knowledge and fear of God in his mind. He doesn't need to do that. In order to guard himself from transgressing any prohibitive commandments. And also, he doesn't need to create the love within him to fulfill the mitzvahs and to study the Torah. So why does he do it? Because that's his nature. And why doesn't he read other books? Why does he read Torah? Because he has the innate, concealed nature, the hidden love that every person, every Jew is born with that. By him, that's enough. That suffices to get him to do what he needs to do. The hidden love of God found in the heart of all Jews, who are called they're called the lovers of his name. This is sufficient for him to motivate his fulfilling the commandments. Why? Since he's naturally so inclined. And therefore, for this reason, he's not considered one who is serving God at all. Why? Because this hidden love, it is not something that is achieved by means of working. It is our inheritance that we received from our patriarchs to entire Jewish nation, as will be explained later on. So this is the Beinoni that does not serve God. The same thing says the Alter Rebbe, the same character, the same title of one who doesn't serves him not can be to a Beinani who is not by nature like this, but someone who trained himself and he got to that point. What does it mean? So he says, so to he who is not inherently studious, but we're talking about a person that has accustomed himself to study diligently, to study, and that became his became his second nature. When you go every morning, you wake up for 30 years and you go to work 6 o'clock in the morning, and it becomes like a routine, then for you it's not a big deal. But again, someone who's not used to work so hard, that's to tell him to work 2 hours a day is also going to be difficult. So that person that is by nature or became second nature, that he for years got himself to do the right thing, and now is used to it already. So when you're doing it now, being used to it, then you're not serving God no more. Yes, of course, you're doing the right thing, but that's not considered working, serving Hashem, revealing more, because a person needs to constantly reveal and work. It's not about how much you accomplish. It's not about how much you do. It's how much effort you put in. And this person that is used to it, it is for him, this hidden love is now sufficient to get him to do the right thing. Unless he wishes to study more than he usually does. This is the same thing is with every single person, every single Jew. It's not about how much you do, even though obviously, ultimately, the goal is to do everything. Every mitzvah connects us with Hashem in a different way, and if we're missing one mitzvah, obviously we're lacking something. But what really counts as serving Hashem? When a person is used to, was brought up in a religious home, and he wakes up every morning and he puts on tefillin and he does the right thing, that's not counted. That's not considered as valuable as a person who is not used to it, and he stops in the street and he says, you know what, today I'm going to put on tefillin, I'm going to do something for God. The effort that you put in, this is what makes you over the Elokim, one who serves Hashem. So this is the end of today's shiur, and again, tonight is going to be the Yortzeit of the Alter Rebbe, special day. We'll have a Farbrengen, and feel free to share, to subscribe, to like, to comment. All the best. Any questions? We'll take another questions.